My name is Hansen. I am a Malaysian Chinese. My mother tongue is Cantonese. Bear in mind that this video is not made by professional. I just want to share what I have improved throughout my years. There's 4 elements: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. If you are new with English or any other language, you may struggle with understanding other people's conversation. It's very normal if you are used to speaking the same language for a long time. A lot of sliding, slang, speed of talking will be faster. What is your name? What's your name? So it's completely understandable if you don't understand what are people talking about. One way I can improve is through entertainment, for example like music, YouTube, watching or listening people talking, expand vocabulary, and also how I speak with English, tone and the voice. I'll give you an example with my favorite YouTuber Charlie. In this screenshot, he says he ventured out. Sometimes I would just suddenly pause when I heard someone says a word that I don't understand, and then I would just Google it. What is the meaning of venture? You will get the definition, antonym, synonym, example of how they use that word to build a sentence. So it's about paying attention to listening and analyzing over the time. It's not done in one day, so there's no pressure in trying to understand new thing. Take your time. Speaking can be terrifying for some people. For example, I am afraid a lot of time being judged by others, but I still try to talk. I still try to ask, and I still try to use certain words even if I'm not sure, is this the right word to use during a conversation? Or what does this mean? What it means? It's not something you're familiar with, right? Sometimes my friend would laugh at me for the words I use and the way I describe it. For example, I say I like fire scout, right? But I said fire school instead of scout. And then they were like, fire school? Fire school? It is understandable that you feel afraid. Our feeling is valid. So my advice is try to explore bit by bit. If you are in a circle right now, try to explore the edge of the circle in within. And then only try to step your toe out on outside circle. For example, I don't know how to swim. I try to jump into the pool and then I panic. Take it one step at a time because we all start somewhere. Reading is quite different to speaking. When I read, it's not formed in my head. I get stuck and I read quite slower. When I'm reading a book, for example, my favorite of all time, Discourses in Selected Writing by Epictetus, I will try to read it out. If you are reading fiction, you can try to read it. Depends on the scenario, maybe the character mood. Picking a right book can help to expand your knowledge as well and your language. I focus on reading one page first. Along the way, if I don't understand, then I write down the words. I continue reading maybe 2 or 3 pages. I done it, then only I look for Google or dictionary and try to understand what does it mean. Then I can read the second time. But this time I just referring back to the sentence and the word that I just searched for. It can maybe help you to better understand how people use certain phrase and certain word to build their sentence. Why do they choose that word to express themselves? Probably one of the hardest, I guess. One good thing about understanding Chinese is that I can use the reverse translate method. For example, if I want to make a sentence in English today, but I didn't know the words or how to build that sentence, I can try to write in Chinese. Keep in mind, Google Translate doesn't translate properly all the time. One of a website I can suggest, I think it's called Discourses, where you can find the word, their antonym and synonym. So it's just grabbing information here and there from time to time, and then you slowly understanding. When it comes to journaling or writing a diary, you can feel free to write however you feel. So there's no right or wrong. Try to go with the flow. Back then I used to write my diary in Mandarin, and then I'm not sure why I switched to English. Maybe it just feels right for me. And lastly, it's a method I use. Now this is not a sponsored video, right? I use Grammarly. It can help me to check if I have any grammar error. It will highlight it down. From time to time I will just see, oh, so this is how I can write. Sometimes maybe I use the similar words twice in the same sentence, then it will just give me a blue highlight and let me know, oh, you don't have to use the front phrases. It is okay, again, if you don't understand everything at once. If you read, you couldn't digest, you couldn't make sense of it, it is okay. Because for me, it does took a long time to study and to explore. So everyone have their time and pace to grow and learn things. I think at the end, it's about the willingness and the passion to learn. I really enjoy learning English. So even though a lot of things doesn't make sense and sometimes it's like, but I still love English as like the top one in language. I will see you guys next time. Yeah.